Tonight we're going to do another Whoop. This is another frame from R3D, or Red Carbon, and they have a number of frames there, and you may remember the Red 3D 4K, a little 4K version of this. It's a little wider, but it's kind of based on the BetaFPV like 75 series, the Meteor 75, Mobula 7 type frame, you know, the basic 75mm frame. This is the 65, so it's pretty tiny and doesn't hold a very big camera at all, and you're supposed to actually hot glue it in. I think I still have my hot glue gun down here somewhere, or not. Anyway, I'll figure something out. But I do have EV6000 or whatever the hell that shit's called, that we might use. Anyway, this is the frame. Pretty simple and basic. It's actually 3D printed. It's carbon fiber infused nylon, so it stinks if you touch your hot iron to it or anything else, really. To power this little craft, we've got these are NewbeeDrone Plaid Edition brushless motors. Yeah, NewbeeDrone's doing brushless now, and it's got, I think those are 0.8mm shafts, I think. So anyway, I just got the props in for this guy. At least I think I did. And hopefully we'll get this guy together, and we'll put him in the air tonight. And I guess it comes with a bunch more connector leads, so that's kind of nice. It comes with a lot of stuff actually in that little box, and including some screws. And these are, I think these are M1.6, something like that, but they're set up for that 3 on 7mm. So you've got 3 holes, and this diameter here is 7mm. So you got to watch out for that if you're running, you know, another Whoop which has 4 on 9mm holes. The flight controller and ESC combination. This is the BetaFPV version 2.1 all-in-one flight controller for like their Meteor 65, and this has the BT 2.0 connector on it. We're actually going to take that off. I haven't converted any of my batteries to BT 2.0 and haven't bought any BT 2.0 batteries, and my charger is all set up for not BT 2.0, so it's a little premature to use BT 2.0 in my opinion, but hey, they ship whatever they can sell, so and for that I'm grateful. And this flight controller, if I'm not mistaken, has the built-in FrSky receiver, and I don't, because I don't see any of the usual connections available for that. Yeah, this is version 2.2, so we just basically, we don't have to do anything except hook up our OSD and hook up our OSD. Man, I'm tired. Hook up our camera to the quad and our VTX to the quad, to this board, and we should be ready to fly. So hopefully we can get this guy in this little frame and make a nice little flyer out of it. And then the camera, I'm using the Runcam Nano 3, which is pretty much what this guy was built for. And you can see, rather than putting a camera on top, it actually puts it on the front. So, and I don't know if you can see, but it flies kind of like that. And the camera, being more in line with your center of gravity, really gives it that sort of locked-in feeling. It's kind of nice. I just flying around their heavier one on 3S. It's crazy. I really enjoy flying it around the basement here, but I haven't taken it outside, but I suspect it'll do very well even outdoors. You know, kind of zipping around telephone poles and stuff like that, just to kind of get it out there. And finally, the VTX that I've picked for tonight is this Eachine Nano. It's a we don't need it on 400 milliwatts, so hopefully it'll and I don't think I have another one actually. that I could make use of, but these things are so tiny and work so well, there's not really much point. So yeah, that's the build. Let's go ahead and get started. I think we just pull out all these little screws right here in the top, and that'll give us access to mount everything up. Yeah, I kind of got away from doing whoops for a little bit and got into doing the 5-inch stuff and larger stuff, and you'll see that coming up on the channel. But well, this will come out now after all that. But you know, now that I'm back into the whoops for a little bit, it's almost springtime, and I wanted to have my quads kind of ready to fly for springtime. And now that winter is holding on for dear life, still need 1 or 2 quads to fly around the basement, and this one fits that bill. I'm just going to loosen this guy a half a turn. That way it comes. Oh, I'm an idiot. There's actually 4 screws in this one. Like, why aren't you coming up? And there. That's that. So the top part comes off completely. What we have are 1, 2, 3, 4 little mounting points for our flight controller, and then the flight controller sits in there pretty much just like this. And we could actually set that in there now, but I want to get my my camera and all the pinouts all soldered up and get this connector off of here before we keep going. So let's get that done. Let's see, how did I do this last time? I think it's actually a little bit tricky to get this connector off. I think what I did was I heated it up from this side and pulled from this side. So yeah, if I recall correctly, that's what I did. But I think I did it like this. Yeah, something like that. Get a little tension. Yeah. And then I think I just grabbed one of the wires as I heated up that connector. Hopefully we won't make a mess of this. There's one. And 2. Now, going back on there, we want to get ourselves something about the same exact length. Flip it off right about there. Then we'll tin it. Yeah, this build shouldn't take all that long. It's a fun little one. Okay. There's 1 and there's 2. Good. Now, so we're going to take the negative wire, and we're going to try to get it right through there. I'm just going to heat that up one more time. There we go. Yep. All right. Now for the positive. That's the one right next to it. Just clean that off. Try. Okay. And that looks pretty good to me. All right. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That feels pretty good. Okay. The next thing we need to do is figure out our pinouts, and luckily enough we have this pretty decent user manual and camera and let's see, this is the 1S F4 brushless. Okay, so no, we don't need that. Let's see. Well, that's weird. Okay, no. Okay, great. Let's see, BetaFPV 1S. Let's see, wiring diagram. Okay, here we go. Here it is. This is the 1S. This is version 2.2. Okay. So that's the FrSky version. Alright, so it should be fairly similar to this one. And looking at it, we can see that we've got ground, 5 volts, camera, smart audio. Yep. And then and then VTX. VTX is going to be so this is going to be motor 1. Yep, back left. Okay. And then this is the old version. And this is the new one. Okay, so this little guy right here is going to be the VTX. The other one's going to be the camera. The camera is going to be in video in, and the other one's going to be video out to the VTX. And both need to be powered off of 5 volt or ground, and I'm going to run the 5 volt to this, and yeah. Yep, okay. So we'll go from 5 volts to here, and then from here to there. Okay. Yeah, these cameras are tiny. Yeah, it's a little tough to get this one to sit in here from what I was told, and you really do kind of need a little bit of help to keep it in here, some sort of, you know, mechanical adhesion or something to keep it from popping out. But yeah, we should be able to make it work. And then is there a front and back? I don't reckon. There is. Which means that this little guy needs to reach all the way back. Yeah, the narrower ones are not going to be front and rear. Okay. Okay. You might need to run this under. That looks like it lines up with those holes. That should keep it fairly well. And I'll put some kind of elastic strap on it to keep it from popping around. But that ought to do it. And then, yeah, so let's get our, if we go under like this, and we come up, are we going to be long enough? I don't know. I do not know if that's going to be long enough. Because it's going to be sitting down in like this. Just ease it in there. Take your time. If it's not going easy, just don't force it. Okay, so there it is, fixed like that. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be long enough. So, when it's not long enough, what do? We make it work. So, I have in here a number of connectors that should accept that type of... Yeah, I know. I'm a hoarder. Okay, Just don't judge me. This should be plenty. So what we'll do is we'll just verify that these guys all line up the way we expect. They do not. And this is actually the wrong size. Okay. Let's see about this one. Is this one the wrong size? Yes. Also the wrong size. Is this the right size? Yes. Okay. Let's see if we can make this connector work. Either that or I'm just going to solder the damn thing. You know? Best part of the video right here. Shh. He's making the cable again. Yeah, I was hoping for like a 1-hour build. Okay, put the black one in the middle. Yep. So we want yellow, yellow, then black, then red. You gotta shit me. yellow, black, red. All right. I guess that'll work. Let's hope. All right. Turn my phone back on so I know what I'm doing. Okay. What? Ground. Five volts. Camera. And the VTX. Okay. Oh, come on. Quit fighting me. All right. Let's get our camera connected now. If you can even see this, you know, this camera's not. Okay. I'm gonna scrub this guy. We're gonna try to get it down through the hole, but if it doesn't go, it doesn't go. Okay, that's it. Didn't go. All right. Knife. Cut open our Eachine Nano VTX. This little guy is pretty darn powerful for what it is. And what we'll do, what I'll do here is I'll figure out which ones are for the camera, and we'll connect those guys. Alright, so this one, if we locate our, based on the button, which is here. This far one is going to be the 5 volts in, so that's the one we need to connect to the board. Then the ground, and then the smart audio, which we didn't actually tin up, so I may pull that one. And then 5 volt out and ground, which is what we're going to connect to, and then our video. Yep. So we'll leave these guys kind of long, and then we'll take off a couple others. Alright, we're going to take off the 5. We're going to take off the smart audio. That one's done. We're going to take off the red one here, because that's the camera out. Okay, and the ground for the camera. Okay, and that's that. Now, you definitely want to retin these, because they're using that lead free almost certainly, and you really only need these last two. Just give them a little scrub, and that should do it. That ought to make it get enough lead on there so that you can actually use it. Okay, now this guy here, what we'll do now, let me think. This was the ground was right next to the video pin, so we're going to attach the ground there. And what we'll actually do is we'll put a piece of Kapton tape around this guy to keep it from shorting out against the board. Let's see here. Let's turn it like so. And see if I can get right down to it. The length of this wire, the length of the unshielded portion is just a hair long. Alright, and the same thing on our positive lead. I'm just going to nip it off to about 1 millimeter, maybe 1.5 millimeters. Because I don't want it hanging over too much. Alright, and let's see. Okay, come on. That's that one. And that's it. Okay. The camera is connected to there. Now, this guy is going to sit on top, and our front is here. So, the way we'll set this guy in here is like this, I think. Yep. Like that. So we're going to run these two and this one. And that ought to be plenty right there. 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I want to trim these guys because they're very, very long. I just want a millimeter or so at most. Okay. Yep. Doing good here. We want this guy to lay pretty much like this. Yep, just like that. Okay. Now we'll figure out our ground is the one closest to this side, and then 5 volt is one up from that. Yep. Okay. So let's do the 5 volt line first. Okay, 5 volts. Now ground. Okay, and video or VTX. Okay. I think that's gonna do it. I do believe that is gonna do it. And we want this one to go on here. Like so. Good. And these guys, this can go like this. Yep, right over top. Yep. Little bit of Kapton tape. Okay, good. Okay. Let's get this guy in here. Oh, come on. What is that little hole? Okay, there's that one. Let's see if I can get this front one now. Yep. Okay, and to the final one. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's make sure we don't have anything pinching or setting funny. That looks good. Looks good. Gotta say, it's coming together. Okay, tighten this one down. I think we'll be just about ready to connect our motors. Okie dokie. Let's get our motors wired up. Let's see, we've got black ones and we've got red ones. And I'm not sure it matters which is which, as long as you put them opposite each other. Catty corner. little tiny baggies are the bane of my existence. Yeah. Okay, pour them out in there. We'll get these guys situated in here. Come up from the bottom. Get one thread started through, and then plunk this guy down on top. Yep. Did I really tighten that all the way down? These things are so easy to over tighten. Just, I mean, think about your sunglass screw, about how easy it is to strip out a sunglass screw, and you've kind of got a sense of just how small and pathetic these screws are. Yep. Alright, let's just push it into the plastic just a little bit. Snug down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Now, directly across from that one, I'm going to put a red one, because I think that's probably how it should go. And then we'll start off with a screw. Yeah, this carbon fiber nylon is pretty tough stuff. Like I said, this isn't the first quad I've made by them, and I was pleasantly surprised by just how sturdy the quad was on the last one. We are almost there. So close I can taste it. Yeah, I really should be upstairs editing video, but tonight I just felt like editing, or I felt like building. I wanted to fly something new. And with this guy, I can fly it around the basement. Yep, don't tighten one of them too much, too snugly. Just snug them up nice and gentle. Go around a couple of times. And if you want, you can even dab on a little bit of Loctite or some CA over top of these. I don't recommend putting it on the threads, and I'll tell you why. This material isn't really very good. It's what's called centered metal, and it's metal that's basically formed with epoxy in sort of a heating process. It's actually a mold, so it's almost like plastic, except it's all metal filings and this powdered metal. And this slurry is pumped into the mold and heated up and pressed, and then the output is these very good, very small parts that you don't actually have to do very much machining on. And it works great, but the tolerances are so close that I'm worried that even a little bit of like CA down in there is just going to make the threads turn to mush. Especially if you try and like snug it down like that. It's going to squeeze out. It's going to get everywhere, for one. And it's just going to be an unpleasant time. So I do not recommend doing these screws like that. Now, on top is a much better solution. It'll affix it to the material next to it, the plastic, but it won't affect the metal. So a little dollop of CA right between the screw and the screw head and the plastic should give you a pretty decent hold and keep these screws from kind of backing out, or should at least. Alright. There it is. Do not over tighten them. Just strip them right out, and then you'll have no fun. No fun at all. Yeah, I was very impressed with the red carbon, or whatever the hell they're called. R3D 65. Okay, loosen up just a tad. Just let it move. Yay! We're done. Victory is ours. We have succeeded where others have never failed. That is the quad right there. And I think that is going to be a nice little flyer. Let's, I declare victory before I even plug the damn thing in. Alright, so we're just going to flip this guy and plug it in like oh, you've got to be shitting me. These connectors are different. You have got to be shitting me. You know what? I can still make that work. Yeah. Alright. It doesn't line up perfectly, but it's close enough that I'll live with it. Jesus Christ, NewbeeDrone, really? Okay. I'll make it work, as Tim Gunn says. Yeah, basically what I'm doing is I'm snagging one of these pins and kind of pushing it over, and then that way I can get all three of them lined up. And then it's probably deforming the pins in there, but you know what, it's not like I'm ever going to take this flight controller out of this quad. Yeah, alright, there you go. Get down on there. I think that's got it. Let's hope. Okay, now before we go any further, I want to do a Bardwell test. This is a test I like to do on all my quads before I plug them in. And basically what it is I'm just checking that the positive and negative aren't shorted together. If I get that, I know I'm in deep shit and that I need to take it apart. But I'm not getting that. Good. Let's make sure that all of these guys are electrically isolated. They are? Oh. Really? Okay. Good. And then this one and this one. You can't see this, and frankly, neither can I. Good. Okay, that should be good. We should be good to power this guy on. Don't move. There we go. So I have a smoke stopper for XT6 or XT30s, I should say. And that's what this is right here. But this is not an XT30. Still serves much the same function. Okay, we should see a red light if something's bad. And I'm just going to touch these terminal. Yep, green, 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 green. That's a good sign. All right. The smoke stopper we don't need anymore. we are ready. Oh, pile of quads behind me. All right, we are ready to check out our camera just to make sure that we're getting signal. And come on, give me something. Hey, look at that. We're even right side up. Excellent. So we are halfway there. Let's see, what do we got on the screen here? We've got RSSI, the Meteor 420. Good. Looking good. Okay. Now we need to bind it. Bind it. So for that, we can turn off our kit here and set our switches. This is our X7, and we're going to come down here, create a new model. Create model. We want a multi. We're just going to page, exit, page. We want to call this one the R3D '65. And exit. And then down here we should have D16 mode. So we want to be channel 1. We want to be ready here. Okay. Now I have some new fun exciting stuff. I want to make sure this is turned off. Good, it is. Okay, good, that worked. And we want to hold down the bind button as we turn it on to put it into bind mode. Alright, this is not the right tool. The right tool is something called a spudger, and I have one. It's a little bit of plastic that isn't going to damage this board, because if I damage this board I would be very upset. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's read the instructions. Because I think I actually put it into boot mode. Yeah, I think I just need to plug this in and then push it. Good. It's red and green, and then when I push bind, it should go solid at some point. Should go. There we go. That should have it. It's green and good to go. Now, we need to take it over to Betaflight and configure our modes, and we should be all set for taking this out for a quick flight around the basement. Alright, let's turn this guy off. Okay, we can exit out of this. That's good. Alright, I think that's it. So right after this, I'll fly it around the basement and get some video of it, and I'll show you guys when I am back. Actually, but before we do that, we need to do one other thing. We need to clean up just a little bit. Put away my spudger. Put away my stick vise. Throw away my garbage. Put my tools away. And set my stuff aside like so. And pull out our handy dandy scale. Okay. So this guy's probably going to be a little bit heavier than yeah. I think those are the props I was going to run on this guy. With these being the other possibility. All right. These are 0.8 millimeter shaft, so is that too small? This is 1 millimeter shaft. That actually feels perfect. So I think these are actually the wrong size. Because I got some other brushed quads at the same time, and yeah, we'll just do it up like that. Anyway, I'll just set that one on there for now, like so. So our dry weight here is 23 grams, which really isn't all that bad, all things considered. And then with the battery, it's going to be like 30, 31 right on the nose. Yeah, so there it is. That's the Red 3D. Like I said, it's not quite as light, but it's a little more durable. And I actually have a couple of other frames that might be a possibility with this guy here if we decide we don't like it, and we can swap it over and run those instead. But yeah, I'm gonna get it flying. All right, again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the flight video.